Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Team Alkaviva / Drink Nature's Water / team, and also the owner of BillMabryCoaching.com. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hey guys, today I wanted to I want to do a video clarifying about how powerful hydrogen-rich water is, and I also want to clarify why hydrogen, H2, is the primary part or property of hydrogen-rich water, which makes it therapeutic to the body. Without that property, you no longer can call hydrogen-rich water therapeutic, and that water that has the H2 is known to help with many disease models that causes medical issues with the body. But I want to clarify that even though you may not have hydrogen H2 in hydrogen-rich water, because of the device that you're using may no longer be producing hydrogen H2 due to different factors, such as scientists saying that those devices out there that are running saltwater solution through them to make them the high 11.5 alkaline water, and to make the very strong acidic 2.5 acidic water, which is known as hypochlorous acid, to help with many skin diseases. Those machines over time seem to be having issues with providing the therapeutic property that you have to have in hydrogen-rich water in order to call it therapeutic water. But those devices that may no longer be making hydrogen H2, do they still have a benefit? Absolutely. And I'm going to explain why people are still feeling the benefits when drinking hydrogen-rich water, even though the water may be missing the most important property of the water itself. And so let's go right to the research. I'm going to actually give you guys some research on the actual power of hydrogen-rich water and why, when missing the H2, it still is a benefit to the body. It's still known as the most powerful water on the planet, and it will still give you some major health benefits because it's able to penetrate the actual cell itself and to be able to hydrate the cell at the cellular level much more efficiently. I'm also going to explain how important it is to be taking the toxic chemicals that are the most dangerous on this planet that are in our water now. And there's many news medias, the CDC, the EPA, the World Health Organization, the EWG. They're finding all kinds of new toxic chemicals in our source water all over the United States. And they've recently posted new articles, the EPA posted new articles, and the EWG, showing that they discovered, on top of the 396 toxic chemicals they recently found since 2019, on top of that, in 2022 and 2023, they discovered 56 more new toxic chemicals, and in 2023, the EPA actually discovered one of the most dangerous toxic chemicals to our body here in California that is concerning them, and that they are looking into why this toxic chemical is so dangerous and could be causing cancer. And they're looking towards the idea that the molecule itself, this toxic chemical, is a very small molecule. It is really hard to detect, but it's actually in the California water. So we must be aware of this. And you guys must pass this on to your friends and family. So let's go right to the research. Okay guys, what I've done is I've kind of written out bullet points about what I'm going to be talking about today. And again, I'm just trying to explain to you guys that most of those out there that are selling devices or that are doing these demos aren't really telling their audience or aren't really telling their prospective clients the whole story. And so what I want to do here is I want to explain and just how important it is for you to be educated and know exactly how hydrogen-rich water actually works as therapeutic water, and why some of the information out there is not complete. And this way you will know and be able to have the opportunity to purchase the equipment or the device, what we like to call the hydrogen H2 generator. Purchase the one that is actually going to give you the most benefits, not only in taking out 249 of the most dangerous toxic chemicals. Basically, you're taking out 99.9% of all dangerous toxic chemicals, but also a device that is going to be producing a higher concentration of hydrogen H2, which actually gives the water the therapeutic ability to reverse many disease models known to man. And there's hundreds, well, actually thousands of actual peer scientific reports showing that when you have the hydrogen H2 in the water, it is therapeutic, and it actually does help reverse many disease models. And it's also going to explain what's causing these disease models because of environmental toxin, causing what you guys were going to be hearing, free radical damage. That's the issue. The free radicals that are in our environmental toxins or in our environment are causing our bodies to be acidic. You have to have a way to actually reverse and neutralize these free radicals so that your body can heal itself from whatever disease you have an issue with. But let's go over the title of this actual video is there's lots of hypes about hydrogen-rich water having a negative ORP for superior hydration. And I'm going to give you the explanation why that is and why the negative ORP is helping the water to actually hydrate the cell at the cellular level. I'm going to give you a little bit of science behind it, not too much. But in order to this is very important. This is probably the biggest thing. This is probably the most missed thing that people at these demos or people that are actually selling the devices aren't explaining to their clients fully. They may be giving them just a little bit of advice, but they're not giving them the whole story. In order to call hydrogen-rich water therapeutic water that helps with many disease models, according to science, you have to have all three of these properties. Not one property can be missing. Now, what that means is, guys, no matter what, you have to have all three. You can't be missing one. The problem today is that a lot of these devices out there, scaling the hard water is causing issues with a lot of these devices, which is the scaling of the internal plates that's actually producing the hydrogen-rich water itself to make it a negative ORP. This scaling is causing the lack of hydrogen H2, even though when you test the water, it may have a good source of alkalinity, natural source. We don't want chemical source. We want the actual source, your city or your actual natural minerals in your source water to cause the machine or the water to be alkalinity. You also may have a negative ORP, but when you actually test for hydrogen, you might be missing the hydrogen. As long as your water has negative ORP, you are still going to get the benefits of hydrating the cells at the cellular level. You just cannot call this water therapeutic. And the other thing is, it's not an antioxidant. The negative ORP, this is where the misconception is. A lot of these people who are giving these demos, or a lot of these people that are actually selling these devices are calling the negative ORP the actual antioxidant, and it is not. Again, it is not. It's the hydrogen H2. It has a therapeutic property, and you can call it an antioxidant. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that. But unfortunately, not all ionizers that produce hydrogen-rich water has hydrogen H2. They may have the alkalinity, and they may have the negative ORP, but missing the most important property that neutralizes the most dangerous free radicals that cause inflammation and many medical issues. Again, the water, the H2 in the water is the specific molecule that's going to actually neutralize the most dangerous free radicals in your body to help reverse many disease models and put your body in a healthy environment. And I'm going to give you a little illustration about that and how it all works. So here we go. So I was with one of the most, I was with a company that produces these ionizers for about 13 years, probably the top selling one. Now, about 15 years ago, guys, I actually got so intrigued about the science behind hydrogen-rich water that I took a 14-month class to get certified as a molecular hydration therapist. That was how intrigued I was. Class was brutal. I had a lot of medical teaching and stuff, which was really hard for me to even to pronounce the medical or the actual scientific words. It was really hard. But I learned. But during these classes, I started thinking about the ionizer I was promoting and the filter itself, where I found out later, a few years later, that the filter in the ionizer that I was promoting for over 13 years was only taken out one chemical. I started learning how toxic our environment is and our source water is, and how they were discovering more toxic chemicals in the source water, that I realized that, okay, if the filter itself is not taken out 99.9% of all the toxic chemicals, then what happens to the ones that are still left in the water going through the ionizer? Or over the years, I learned that those toxic chemicals that are going through the ionizer and producing hydrogen-rich water, those toxic chemicals became more bioavailable because of the negative ORP in the water will carry those toxic chemicals to the cells more efficiently than any other water on the market, because the negative ORP is what's going to give you the actual benefit of hydrating the cells at the cellular level. And so then I just wasn't really happy with the filter. And then I found out also that, okay, you can put a 3-stage pre-filter on there. Guys, the problem with that is it still did not take the toxic chemicals out until I was introduced to a device known as Alkaviva that actually had a certified lab that tested their 2 internal filters that actually took out 249 of the most dangerous toxic chemicals. In other words, it took out 99.9% of the toxic chemicals that were actually in the water before it went through the electrolysis process. They also had a copy of the certified third-party lab that did the testing that actually showed all the different dangerous toxic chemicals that were in that water. That to me made more sense, because wouldn't it make sense that you should take out all the toxic chemicals first before the water goes through your electrolysis device? And that those toxic chemicals are known to be more bioavailable and getting into your cell and into your body? Absolutely. Now, another thing I learned over this course was that the cleaning or the solution that I was putting through all my machines, I had two of the machines. I was putting a salt solution through it to clean all my fruits and vegetables, and I was also using the 2.5 strong acidic to help with some of my clients who had a lot of skin diseases. The problem was that over time, it seemed that, according to science now, that salt solution, because salt, water, and electricity really don't match because there's a lot of medical issues. The science showed that by running the salt solution through your machine, it could possibly damage the metal plates that produce the hydrogen-rich water and cause small metal particles to be part of that water. And that salt solution also bothered me over time, but I just didn't pinpoint exactly how it could cause issues until this new research came out. And the research actually says they recommend that people do not drink the water that the salt solution produces until more research can be done to see exactly what happens to the plates. Two of my machines that I actually own that puts the salt solution through had burnt plates. I took them apart. One was about 8 years old, maybe the other one was about 10 years old, but I took them apart, and yes, the plates were burnt and damaged. That's not going to work for the type of clients I'm working with. And the other thing I learned was the scaling of the plates on cleaning the machine. The AquaViva not only has the new filter technology, it also has the new cleaning technology where we don't have to clean the devices every couple or 3 weeks, nor do we have to send it in and get it deep cleaned because of the new cleaning technology. I also learned that by developing calcium or scaling on the plates over time, even though you're cleaning it every 2 weeks or taking it in for a deep clean, that scaling will actually cause the hydrogen H2 to not be as concentrated as what we need to call it therapeutic. To call it therapeutic, guys, you have to have 0.5 ppm plus in that water in order to call it therapeutic. But again, even though, now let's talk about this. So we know you have to have 3 properties of therapeutic water. You got to have the high alkalinity from your natural water source, from the minerals that are in your source. So the actual source water will detect how high your alkalinity is. You also have to have a negative ORP, which your water source also detects, and how high your negative ORP. Now, if you have a negative ORP of 200 or higher, you're good to go. That water is actually going to help hydrate the cell to cellular level. Now, if you test water, your bottled water, your city filtered water, your fancy, expensive alkaline waters that are in a bottle, they're going to test at a positive ORP. A negative ORP means that you have the oxidation reduction potential. Again, the P for the ORP, the P in that means a potential having antioxidants. It does have antioxidant. It has a potential. Remember, the hydrogen H2 itself, that's the antioxidant, not the negative ORP. You do not want to be drinking any water that has a positive ORP because that's going to cause your body to be acidic, and it's going to cause a deterioration of the cells at the cellular level, especially at the mitochondria. But again, in order to have therapeutic water, you got to have all 3 of these in the water. Now, this is the issue that I'm having right now, is a lot of these demos that they're doing out there on different devices, they're only showing the negative ORP, the alkalinity, they're only showing the negative ORP. I have yet to see one actually test the hydrogen in the water. What they should be doing is when they do the test for the alkalinity, when they do the test for the negative ORP, they should include, right behind the ORP, negative ORP, they should include a hydrogen H2 test by using what science is saying, the blue drops, in order to detect, do you have 0.5 ppm of hydrogen? They're not doing that. Now, what they are doing is they're doing a lot of experimental things that are really fancy, and they look like magic. For example, the t-test, emulsifying oil, different things. Are using lights to detect the negative ORP. They're doing a lot of fancy stuff. That's fun. That's fun stuff. No, You have to do the, when you're actually wanting to show your clients the truth, or you wanting to show your audience the truth, you need to do these three here in a row. The problem is that a lot of these devices are missing the hydrogen H2, but they still have these two, which is still a benefit. You're still getting a benefit because of those, the alkalinity and the negative ORP, you're still going to hydrate the cell to cellular level. That's why people still feel the benefits, because they're actually drinking, if they're drinking enough water, 64 ounces up to 120 a day, they're still going to feel the benefits. They're just not going to have the ability to neutralize the free radicals that are causing the damage to the cells. And over time, that's why people may get some kind of a medical issue, even though they're drinking water that's known as hydrogen-rich water. Again, it's the H2 that's going to help prevent and reverse many disease models. Now, let me give you a little bit of science here, okay? When I'm talking about the neutralizing of the hydrogen H2. So here's the science. This is with, this one was published in 2023, January, Medicine and the Pharmacology, whatever, however you pronounce that. That was the medical journal it was actually published in. The effects of molecular hydrogen in management of cardiovascular and metabolic diseases. Metabolic diseases means all kinds. Diabetes, fatty liver disease, autoimmune diseases, blood pressure, I mean, on and on and on. Mental issues, gut issues, just on and on. And so this was an actual evidence, or this was actually a case study that was done, because there's the abstract. And I'm going to read it, I'm going to read right from their site, so you know it's not coming from me. There is evidence that the behavioral risk factors such as Western type diets and lifestyles can cause oxidative stress, which we know that because the toxic chemicals that are in all your foods and stuff is causing the body to go through oxidative stress, which is free radical damage, a deficiency in antioxidant status. So even if you think you're eating the vegetables, you got the pesticides on all your veggies, and if you're doing organic, you're still getting the pesticides. Fruits, that's supposed to have antioxidants. How long did it take those fruits to get to your store? The antioxidants dissipate very quickly, so you're not getting an efficient amount of antioxidant. Hyperglycemia is causing increase in, oxidative stress is causing inflammation in tissues. That's where the damage at the cellular level, and with various organs. Beta cells of the pancreas causing bad LDL, causing high blood pressure, heart diseases, all kinds of stuff. Recent studies indicate, now this is where it becomes important, this is where the H2 comes in. Recent studies indicate that molecular hydrogen can inhibit hydroxyl radicals. Guys, look up hydroxyl radical damage, and you'll see that hydroxyl radicals are the most dangerous free radicals in the body, causing the destruction of the cells at the cellular level, especially to the mitochondria. The mitochondria is a very important part of the cell for overall health. Recent studies, the hydroxyl can directly act as H2 can directly act as an antioxidant in the cells and tissues, which can cause marked decline in oxidative stress, free radical damage, by neutralizing the hydroxyl radical, and inflammation leading to significant decline in cardiovascular diseases, which is heart diseases, and other metabolic diseases. Clinical and experimental studies indicate that hydrogen therapy, such as hydrogen-rich water, can provide benefits in the management of cardiovascular disease and metabolic damage. That's science. That's not me. That's science. I'm going to give you one more scientific. Okay, first of all, go back. Let's go back here. So it says here that it can neutralize the hydroxyl radical, which is a very dangerous free radical in our body. Let me show you what it actually can do. So in this flyer here, it says H2 neutralizes free radicals, flushing out inflammation, Inflammation is the root cause of all disease. Well, any health professional knows that. But this is why people feel the energy when they're actually drinking hydrogen-rich water, is that hydrogen-rich water increases your energy, clarity of focus, enhances athletic performance, increases endurance, stamina, decreases recovery time when you're exercising, increases cellular hydration. That's because of the negative ORP as well. If your water has hydrogen H2 in it, it's the smallest molecule on the planet, and that hydrogen H2 can actually go through the blood-brain barrier and be able to neutralize the free radicals that are in your brain that's causing causing mental issues. That's why people, when they start drinking water out of a new device, they can feel the clarity. It helps with the gut, decreases body odors. A big one for you seniors out there. It actually it slows premature aging and skin. It actually helps skin rejuvenation and cardio and other benefits. But what I was getting to is hydrogen H2 will actually take the hydroxyl radical and actually take it and convert it back into water at the cellular level. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. This is how strong hydrogen H2 is. As it neutralizes the hydroxyl radical, which is a very dangerous free radical, it will actually convert it back into H2O water. Now, the next science I have here was published in 2022. The title of it was published in the Environmental Science of Technology. It was published to the enhanced removal of free radicals by hydrogen nanobubbles and their role in oxidative stress. All that means is that it's hydrogen-rich water that has dissolved hydrogen. Again, it's hydrogen-rich water that has dissolved hydrogen in it. So elevated levels of retroactive oxygen radicals, which are free radicals caused by environmental stress, are the key triggers of inflammation, aging, and diseases. Thus, it is critical to develop novel retroactive oxygen radical scavenging methods with high efficiency and low toxicity. So what they're saying here is that you need to be drinking water or eating foods that have the ability to neutralize the free radicals. That's all they're saying. As a result of their selective reactive oxygen radical removal, hydrogen molecules are strong candidates in this study. We, for the first time, combined nanobubble technology, which is dissolved hydrogen in water, and hydrogen in water to remove retroactive oxygen species, free radicals, to neutralize them. Our results provided important support for the wide application of hydrogen, NBS, in empowering the antioxidant defense system. Hydrogen H2 is going to help to boost your immune system. That's a big factor there. In the hundreds of research, this is very important. This is what you really need to fully understand. And this is where those people that are selling the devices and are doing these demos need to talk about. In the hundreds of research articles out there, not one mentions the negative ORP as an antioxidant. That's the misconception. People are still saying the negative ORP is the antioxidant. It is not the antioxidant that has the ability to neutralize the most dangerous free radicals that does the damage to our body, causing many disease models and premature aging. Does this mean if your device is missing the therapeutic property of the water, H2, it is no longer beneficial to the body? The answer to that is absolutely no. If you still have a good source of alkalinity and you still have a good source of negative ORP, you're still going to get the benefits of this water hydrating you at the cellular level over any water on this planet. There's no other water that will hydrate the cell at the cellular levels more efficiently than hydrogen-rich water. It can still be missing the therapeutic property, which you're not going to have if you don't have H2, but you're still going to get the benefits of this water. Even though the H2 is missing, if you still have a good source of natural alkalinity and natural source causing the water to have a negative ORP, you will still have the best water on the planet to hydrate the cells at the cellular level. You just won't have the actual therapeutic property, which is the H2. Hydrogen H2 is the antioxidant that neutralizes free radical damage, not the negative ORP. The P on negative ORP, it may have the potential of H2. It doesn't say it has it. It may have the potential. Understand that. So the conclusion to this video. Hey guys, I'm back. So the conclusion to this video, guys, is very important. First of all, I moved from one of the top selling devices out there, all because not only from other issues, but because I learned that you must take all the toxic chemicals out of the source water before it goes through the electrolysis device to prevent your body from absorbing the leftover toxic chemicals. They say that those toxic chemicals are more bioavailable because they did go through the electrolysis device. So let's analyze that real quick. Even though your water is missing the therapeutic properties and will not neutralize those free radicals, even though you're missing that, as long as you have the alkalinity, the natural source of alkalinity, not chemical source, as long as you have the negative ORP, the natural negative ORP, not the chemical source, your body is going to efficiently hydrate itself at the cellular level more efficiently because of that negative ORP. But think about it. If your water, your source water, goes through an electrolysis device and doesn't take out all of the toxic chemicals, then why are we saying it's more bioavailable? The reason why we're saying that, if you think about it, because of the negative ORP. Because of that negative ORP, you're hydrating yourself at the cellular level much more efficiently, which means you're carrying those excess toxic chemicals into each one of your cells, and you may not feel some side effects from that right away. Just think about this. Over time, if you keep doing this over and over, and as you saw, science is saying that they're discovering new toxic chemicals all the time. I gave you a list of those toxic chemicals in other videos that you can go to Bill Mabry, or you can go to my YouTube channel, Bill Mabry Coaching, and look at those YouTubes of all the toxic chemicals, but go through those. That's what makes those so dangerous and why it's bioavailable, because of the negative ORP, and because you're hydrating more efficiently at the cellular level and you're carrying those toxic chemicals in there, guys. So what's the solution? Is there a solution? Absolutely. That's why I moved from the top device to Alkaviva, because I now understand that the 2 internal filters that Alkaviva has is actually certified by a third-party lab, showing it takes out the 249 toxic, most dangerous toxic chemical. In other words, 99.9% of all toxic chemicals. Plus, because of their new, not only their new filter technology, but because of their new cleaning technology, it's going to protect the plates, the internal plates that actually produce hydrogen H2. So this device is designed to produce more concentration of hydrogen H2 because of the protection of the internal filters and because of the new cleaning technology. And the third thing is, I learned, is that their technology in the actual plates itself, this device has 9 plates. They've designed them where they're no longer putting a lot of heat on them, which can cause issues. Plus, because the flow, we all know that have been involved with hydrogen-rich water. We all know the slower you run the water through the plates, the more hydrogen you get. But the problem with the device I was with for 13 years, when you did slow down the flow, the water tasted so bad you can't tolerate it. This Alkaviva device, they designed the plates and added the extra plates in order to run the water slower through it to get the hydrogen they wanted to stay there, to be high for years, and to keep the refreshing taste of the water. That's the biggest thing that most people notice, is how refreshing the water tasted, even though the flow was a little slower. It's all about the hydrogen H2. That's what it's all about. You want that hydrogen H2. The environmental toxins, the environmental free radicals is getting worse and worse every single year. So you need to protect your family. And the only way you're going to do that is by drinking water that has the therapeutic property to give your kids a chance to survive in the future from these many medical issues. The United States is one of the unhealthiest countries in the world, not because of obesity. Obesity is rampant. Type 2 diabetes is rampant. Cardiovascular disease, #1 killer, is rampant. If you look back, it's all about what you're eating and what you're drinking and what you're breathing. You got to have a way to flush that stuff out of the cells. If you don't, you're just not going to make it. Okay, guys? So, guys, again, you can go to myteamalkaviva.com/drinknatureswater/ click on Get Started. Go through those short videos. When you get to the section, you can actually put your zip code in, check out what toxic chemicals are lurking in your water. You can also go to billmabrycoaching.com, hit free consultation, and let's talk a little more about this. Write down any questions you have. I'll try to answer the questions the best I can. But again, guys, it's really important that those of you that are actually selling devices, you really need to tell your audience, if you're doing a live demo, and you need to show them the 3 properties. Now, my question is, why aren't these people that are doing these live demos showing hydrogen H2? The only way I can speculate this, because I know now for a fact, hydrogen H2 dissipates very, very fast. You can have a sealed bottle. You put the water as to the top of the bottle, put a seal cap on it, make sure it's sealed, it's locked, and that hydrogen will last 3 to 5 days. Once you pop that seal and you take 3 or 4 sips on it, and all of a sudden 3 to 5 hours later you check it for hydrogen, it's gone, because it dissipates in that quickly. So when you're sharing water, you got to tell people, you got to put that water that you're sharing into something that's sealed and explain to them. Be honest. Explain to them. They have to drink that whole gallon that day, because most likely by the time at the end of the day, the hydrogen H2 is going to be gone. But is the water still efficiently hydrating the body? Yes, because that negative ORP will most likely hang in there for at least another day or so. Okay, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys have a great rest of the day.